plain song that you just pops up on a record. My concept for this was that this was...
When people talk about guitar legends, Joe Satriani's name rises quietly. Never shouted, never forced, yet undeniable. He's the kind of musician whose playing doesn't just impress, it haunts you. A technician with flawless precision, yes, but also a storyteller who uses strings in place of sentences. His melodies bend and move like something alive. For countless players, Steve Vai, Kirk Hammett, Larry Lalonde, Satriani wasn't just an influence, he was the blueprint. But behind the calm stage presence and the effortless brilliance exists a more complicated, more human story. The tragedy of Joe Satriani isn't scandal or destruction. It's the quieter kind of hardship, the sacrifices, the bruises, the loneliness that often come with chasing a dream that most people never fully understand. Born in 1956 in Westbury, New York, Joe didn't just stumble into music, he ran toward it the moment he heard of Jimi Hendrix's death. That single moment lit a spark that never faded. From then on, he practiced with a devotion that bordered on obsession. Hours blurred into years, and while others his age drifted from hobby to hobby, Joe drilled deeper and deeper into the instrument that would define his life. The irony is that long before the world ever heard his name, Satriani was already shaping the future of rock from behind a classroom door. In the early 1980s, he taught guitar in California, quietly building the foundation for some of the most influential players of the era. Future icons walked into his lessons unknown and walked out transformed. Before Satriani had a record deal, he was already changing music history. Yet those teaching years were not glamorous. Joe has always been honest about how tough it was, how he struggled financially, how he questioned whether there was room in the industry for a guitarist who didn't sing, how record labels saw instrumental rock as a dead end. Get a real job, they told him. For Joe, music wasn't a job, it was oxygen. He had no choice but to keep going. Then came 1987 and Surfing with the Alien. The album didn't just succeed, it exploded. Suddenly, The Quiet Teacher was a global sensation, touring the world, collecting Grammy nominations, and winning a devoted fan base. But the cost of that breakthrough was immense. Joe had poured every emotional, physical, and financial resource he had into that project. The success was exhilarating, but it came after years of doubt, exhaustion, and risk that no one truly saw. And even in the years that followed, Satriani's life never matched the stereotypical rock star script. While others lived loudly, Joe lived gently. He avoided chaos, stayed grounded, kept to himself. Yet that quietness often made him feel like an outsider in an industry obsessed with spectacle. People adored the music, he once said, but they didn't always understand the man behind it. As age and decades of touring caught up with him, he battled chronic pain, fatigue, and hearing issues, painful realities for someone whose life revolves around sound. He didn't complain, didn't dramatize, he simply carried it, continued playing, continued giving. Because to him, music wasn't a performance, it was healing. And that is where Joe Satriani's story reveals its true weight. His tragedy is not downfall, it's endurance. It's the quiet cost of giving everything to something you love. At 68, his legend is secure, his influence immeasurable. But his greatest legacy might not be the technique, the Grammys, or the iconic albums. It might be the reminder that even the most extraordinary artists are human, shaped by sacrifice, lifted by passion, and held together by the music they make when words fall short. Joe Satriani never needed to be loud. His guitar spoke for him, and it spoke with both beauty and ache.